Your brain is hungry right now. Not hungry in the way your stomach is hungry, hungry in a much stranger way. Your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, yet it uses roughly 1/5 of the energy your body spends at rest. That is an outrageous price for a lump of tissue that mostly spends its day making you remember passwords, overthink conversations, and suddenly replay something embarrassing from 2014. So here is the real mystery. How did our ancestors ever afford a brain like this? For most animals, eating is already a full-time problem. Find food, chew it, digest it, avoid being eaten while doing all three. Now imagine trying to power a much larger brain on top of that. You would need more usable energy, and you would need to get it without spending every waking hour grinding tough roots or tearing through raw meat. Then humans found a way to move part of digestion outside the body. Fire. When we picture early humans discovering fire, we usually picture warmth, light, or a dramatic caveman holding a flaming stick over his head. But the quieter revolution may have been dinner. Heat changes food. It softens tough plant tissue. It changes starches. It changes proteins. It can make chewing and digestion easier. Cooking does not create calories from nothing, but it can help a body get more usable energy from the same food with less work from teeth and guts. That sounds ordinary now because you probably cooked or reheated something this week. But for an early human, it could have changed the daily math of survival. Less time chewing, less time processing hard food, more reliable access to foods that were previously too tough, too risky, or simply not worth the effort. And once food becomes easier to process, a strange possibility opens up. Perhaps a creature can spend less of its day acting like a food processing machine. This is why fire appears in so many stories about the human brain. Our brains are expensive. Cooked food is easier to handle. Put those two facts together, and the story almost writes itself. Fire fed the brain got bigger, and humans became human. But evolution almost never gives us a story that tidy. The strongest version of the idea is not that a campfire magically increased intelligence. It is that cooking may have changed the energetic limits surrounding a large brain. Think of your body as having a daily budget. A bigger brain is an absurdly expensive purchase. You cannot just decide to have one. Somewhere, energy has to come from. Better food quality can help. Cutting and pounding food can help. Meat and fat can help. Changes in body size, childhood, and social care can help. Cooking may have been one powerful part of that larger package. Experiments with food processing show why the idea is plausible. Heat and other processing methods can change how much energy an animal actually gains from food. Again, the food did not become magic fuel. The body simply gets a different deal from it. And fire did something else that is easy to miss. It changed time. Raw food often demands long chewing. Cooking can make a meal softer and faster to eat. Imagine what that means across generations. Hours that once went into chewing, digging, and struggling with food could be used for traveling, watching children, making tools, looking for danger, or dealing with the most difficult animal of all, other humans. Cooking also demands patience. You cannot swallow a hard root now and decide to roast it yesterday. You have to gather fuel, keep a flame alive, wait, protect the food, remember where the fire is, maybe return to the same place. None of that proves fire created planning. Our ancestors already had important cognitive skills before they cooked. But fire may have rewarded those skills every single day.
So when did this begin?
This is where the smoke clears and the argument starts. Archaeologists do not get a neat first chapter labeled "The Day Humans Invented Cooking." Fire is terrible at preserving its own history. Rain, wind, soil, and thousands of years can scatter ash, move burned bones, or erase a hearth completely. A blackened object can also come from a natural wildfire. So finding old signs of burning is not automatically proof that humans made the fire, controlled it, or cooked dinner on it. One of the most important early sites is Wonderwerk cave in South Africa. In deposits around 1 million years old, researchers found microscopic traces of burned plant material and bone deep inside the cave, associated with early human occupation. That makes it strong evidence that hominins were using fire very early. But even there, the researchers did not find a perfectly preserved stone ring campfire with a sign saying Homo erectus kitchen. Early evidence is evidence, not a time machine. At Gesher Benot Yaakov in Israel, around 780,000 years ago, evidence from plants and fire points to food processing and a varied diet. Later sites make habitual fire use clearer, but the exact timeline remains contested, especially when we ask different questions. Did a hominin ever use a natural flame? That may be very old. Could they carry or control fire? Harder to prove. Did every group use it routinely for cooking, generation after generation? Harder still. This matters because human brain size was already changing over a very long stretch of evolution. Some researchers argue that the archaeological dates do not line up cleanly enough to say cooking caused the original expansion of our brains. Others argue that the physical clues in early humans, including changes in teeth, jaws, and diet, suggest cooking may be older than the fragile fire record shows. The honest answer is not that science has failed. The honest answer is that scientists are still separating a beautiful story from a proven one. Still, even if fire was not the single cause of a larger brain, it changed the kind of creature humans could become. Fire extended the useful day past sunset. It offered warmth in cold places and a visible point of safety in a dark landscape. It made a shared location valuable. If food was cooking, someone had to tend it. If a flame was alive, someone had to remember it, feed it, and protect it. That does not mean the first campfires instantly produced language, families, or storytelling. We cannot excavate a 700,000-year-old conversation. But a hearth created repeated opportunities for the things human brains are unusually good at: attention, memory, cooperation, teaching, bargaining, and conflict. There is a small irony here. Fire may have changed our brains not because it was inside us, but because it became part of our environment. It was an outside tool that changed what food was worth, where people gathered, and how the day was organized. In that sense, the first great upgrade to the human brain may not have been a new thought. It may have been a new relationship with heat. We became the animal that does not just find food, we transform it. The animal that does not merely survive the night, we build a little island of day inside it. And maybe that is the deeper story of fire. It did not hand us intelligence like a gift. It changed the world around us again and again until a more demanding, more social, more energy-hungry kind of mind had a better chance to survive there. Your brain is still expensive. But tonight, while you cook dinner, remember, you are using an ancient technology that may have helped make brains like yours possible.